Hello, everyone. My name is Serena Michelle, and this is Triggered by Serena. If you don't get triggered, then I'm not doing the right thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not really sorry. I also have a page called The Privileged Ear that I'm going to start posting on sooner than later, but for right now, this is my only page. If you're not triggered, you're wrong. If you're not triggered, I'm not doing a good enough job, or you're not being accountable enough. But regardless, I'm here to give you insight on what a therapist, a marriage counselor, a relationship counselor is not going to be able to give you in one session, and I'm giving it all to you right now. Let me know what stage you're in below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me about your relationship on TikTok. Triggered by Serena. I'm trying to get 50 followers on TikTok so I can actually go live and be able to have these conversations like virtually with people, And I also have an ebook out called High Value Dating Standards for the Naive Mind. It's for the ladies out there, the little sisters who don't have older sisters, the girls who don't have the best relationships with their mom. And it doesn't only have to be that. It's just the lover girls that know they're lover girls, but is having a little hard time out there with this male loneliness epidemic. The link is on Shopify. It's on all my social media accounts, and you can go check that out. I'm all new to this, so please be patient with me, okay? I'm going to butcher the fuck out of this video, but we're all just going to love it. We're all going to love it. We're going to be okay with it. The first stage of ascending love is recognition, the mirror. Everyone begins here at the first stage. So what happens here? Two souls meet, something sparks, it's chemistry, same vibration. I feel like I know you from somewhere. Your nervous systems basically recognize each other's patterns, and it feels like safety, danger, destiny, or all three together. And beneath it is familiarity. During this stage, the masculine energy, he feels pulled not by logic, but by gravity. Something about her presence silences his overthinking. For the first time, he wants to stay. He mistakes this piece for destiny. It's beautiful and necessary, but it's reactive instead of creative. In the feminine energy, she feels seen in a way her spirit remembers. Something in his gaze says, "You're safe here." But what she's really feeling is her own heart, finally reflected back. But this connection between the two, it's magnetism, curiosity, obsession, the dopamine high of potential and projection. The purpose is to awaken what's asleep inside of you already. Desire, vulnerability, longing. It's the call to grow. For each partner, what are you learning? You learn to see the mirror instead of losing yourself in it. And ask yourself, what part is this person awakening? I feel like it's authenticity first, and then it's love when it comes to like the most important things in life, because once you are your true self, you are attract exactly what you want. But besides that, the lesson is not the other person creating magic, it's two frequencies resonating. The chemistry is ancient, but the purpose is awakening. That's what love is, y'all. Next is stage 2, projection, the fantasy and the shadow. During this stage, you start projecting your unmet needs and fantasies into the other person. You love how they make you feel, not necessarily who they are, The ego builds a story around them that says they'll heal me, complete me, or even save me. And what does this feel like in stage 2? It feels like euphoria and fear, emotional intensity, high highs and low lows. What is the masculine feeling? He starts to protect her, maybe even possess her. He loves the reflection of strength she brings out of him, but underneath, he fears losing control. He wants to be her safety, but secretly, he's scared of being needed. What does the feminine say here? She opens her heart wide, she gives, nurtures, and pours, believing this is how love is kept. She adores the way he sees her potential, but starts bending herself to maintain it. And that's not what we're doing, y'all. Some people don't outgrow this stage. It ends up being politics shaped by ego and competition, relationships built on transaction, spirituality turned into performance, art driven by validation instead of truth. When love stays unconscious, it becomes possession. We confuse belonging with ownership, passion with power, and loyalty with fear. So, what does it feel like in this stage? It feels like euphoria and fear, emotional intensity, high highs and low lows, as I said before. The purpose is to reveal your subconscious beliefs about love, worth, and safety. It's to test ego's entitlement to this fantasy. Ask yourself, is my expectation of them turning my love into control? Are they triggering fears in me? For each partner, notice when you're falling for the feeling, not the person. Mirror back gently, not reactively. Begin to communicate honestly and not perform affection to avoid loss. The lesson is to not believe that if you can keep somebody, then you'll be enough for them. Fear will lead you to think that a person is right for you just because you have a fear of abandonment. And that's a conversation for another day, but there's your seed. So water it and let that shit grow. So this is stage 3. Stage 3 is disillusionment, the mirror cracks. So during this stage, what happens with the masculine and what happens with the feminine? So the masculine, he begins to feel trapped. Her emotions overwhelm him, not because they're wrong, but because they touch the parts of him he's been trained to hide. He withdraws, mistaking silence for power. How does the feminine feel? She feels abandoned, though he's still beside her. His distance activates her old ache, the little girl left waiting. She chases for reassurance, and he retreats further. Why does it feel like a downfall? Because unconscious love can't sustain itself. It devours instead of nourishes. The nervous system mistakes adrenaline for intimacy, and the spirit mistakes attachment for union. When an individual stays here, they suffer. But the pain isn't in the end. It's the invitation to wake up. So during this stage, what happens? Reality sets in. You begin to see each other's flaws, defenses, and inner child wounds. Conflict arises not because love is dying, but because truth is surfacing. What it feels like: confusion, disappointment, doubt. You may think they've changed, but in reality, your illusion is the only thing that changed. And what is the purpose during this stage 3? To test if love can withstand truth, to show the parts of yourself that resist intimacy or accountability. For each partner, this is to practice emotional regulation before reaction, to heal instead of blame, and to ask, what is this conflict trying to teach me about myself? Stage 3. I hope that we're all collectively able to see the pattern here is that you cannot sustain love if you do not water it. You cannot sustain anything if you don't feed it. Things will start to rust if you don't keep up with the maintenance of things. You're not going to be able to sustain a job if you don't go to it. How do you think you can sustain love if you're not watering the other aspect? Love cannot just simply sustain any relationship. You need accountability. You need curiosity. It's a choice to be in a relationship. So if you want to be in a relationship, be in a relationship and put your all in. You cannot have fear that it's not going to work out, because how can you regret loving? You shouldn't regret putting love out. You should only regret if you didn't have the boundaries to sustain your self-respect. And that's the only thing that matters here. But besides that, everyone is running from something. Everyone is scared of something. Everyone is fearful. To get close to somebody, it's hard, and I understand that. But you only have one life. And not to say that you have to put 100% your all when you just meet somebody, but make sure you keep your mind open to the fact that love is something to cherish, and the human experience is so beautiful. And for you to even be able to have chemistry with a person rightfully, there should be no regret in you giving out the good parts of you and showing yourself that you tried and you're capable of it in the first place. This is for you, but I'll get to the next part. So this is stage 4, healing the conscious choice. What happens here? Both partners begin doing the inner work. not just for the relationship, but for themselves. Love becomes a mirror for growth, not validation, and the nervous system learns safety through transparency. So, how does the masculine feel here? He starts to see that control isn't safety. He learns to stay during discomfort, to feel rather than fix. His power shifts from dominance to presence. He realizes strength is being emotionally available, not invincible. So, how does the feminine feel here? She stops overgiving and turns inward. She learns that softness isn't weakness, it's wisdom. She no longer begs to be chosen, she becomes the chooser. Her intuition sharpens and she reclaims her energy. And what does it feel like? Tender, grounded, vulnerable. There's less adrenaline, more presence. They both learn to self-regulate, to love without survival, and their love moves from habit to a healing practice. And the purpose here? To transform attachment into awareness, to create a foundation of truth and emotional safety. And who wouldn't want that? So, stage 4. Awareness doesn't erase longing, it purifies it. Conscious love says, I still desire you, but from freedom, not fear. I can feel passion without possession. I want you because my wholeness wants to dance, not because my emptiness needs to be fed. I want you because my wholeness wants to dance, not because my emptiness needs to be fed. When enough people start loving that way, the collective vibration changes, systems shift, art deepens, peace feels possible, not through rules but resonance. So what is the purpose here? It's to transform attachment into awareness, to create a foundation of truth and emotional safety. For each partner, take accountability for triggers and patterns, express needs without shame and manipulation, create emotional safety together. It's really not that hard, y'all. If you love them enough, you'll do it. You'll do it. If you love them enough, you'll do it. If you love yourself enough, you'll do it. So stage 5, conscious partnership, union, and freedom. So what happens here? You both hold your individuality and your connection. You become interdependent, not codependent, and not avoidant. Polarity reawakens, but it's clean. It's attraction rooted in respect and wholeness. Respect and wholeness. So, what does it feel like for the masculine here in stage 5? He now leads from groundedness, not ego. He protects peace, not pride. He speaks truth without defensiveness, and his presence becomes the foundation of where love grows. How does the feminine feel? She flows in confidence and joy. She doesn't need to shrink for harmony or overextend for attention. Her emotions become art, not chaos, and she inspires through grace, not guilt. Together they move like water and stone, fluid yet firm, complementary yet free. What does it feel like? It feels like peaceful passion, unforced chemistry, play, safety, curiosity, and flow. A natural flow of energy. And only if we stop there. Unconscious love is the soil. Awareness is the bloom. You can't skip the dirt, but you don't have to stay buried in it either. The downfall isn't loving blindly. The downfall is refusing to open your eyes once they start to burn. So, what is the purpose here? It's to co-create, whether that's art, family, business, or spiritual evolution. Remember, love is a verb, not just a feeling. For each partner, what are you learning here? To maintain your own energy, purpose, rituals, and routines. Nurture emotional intimacy through honesty and curiosity, and to keep growing. Love thrives on movement, not stagnation. So last but not least, we're going to get into stage 6, which is unconditional love and spiritual union. Ooh, doesn't that sound good? So what happens here? Love transcends form. Even if the relationship changes, the connection remains rooted in gratitude and compassion. There's no fear of loss because you both become love itself. That is so sweet. So let's see how the masculine feels here. He surrenders the need to lead and learns to listen. He sees love not as conquest, but communion. His protection becomes energetic, his stillness sacred. And how does the feminine feel here? She loves from overflow, not emptiness. Her intuition becomes prayer, her heart an altar. She no longer fears being alone because love never leaves her. It lives through her. It lives through her. Together they exist beyond needing each other, but still choosing each other endlessly. What does it feel like? It feels like quiet reverence, deep acceptance, and openness without possession. So what is the purpose? To embody love as consciousness, not just emotion. You don't have love here. You are love. And the lesson, when love transcends ego, it becomes creation itself. How beautiful to create unconditional love with somebody. And then even if you don't work out, it lives on. So what should each partner take from this? Practice surrender, not control. Love without clinging. And to be willing to let love evolve, even if that means letting go. Closing thought. When you go higher in awareness, love stops being a movie. It becomes a meditation. Two energies breathing each other into balance. Two souls mastering the art of staying awake in love. So I hope that you like that. I'm going to definitely be putting a video out there very soon about the descending of love as well. If this resonates with you, please like, follow, subscribe, and reach out. If you have any questions about your relationship, definitely reach out. And if you're a lover girl who needs help with when it comes to boundaries, make sure you go to my ebook. I promise you, you can go to Starbucks and get a $10 coffee with a $5 croissant that you don't even like that, and that's not going to help you in the future. It's going to make your stomach hurt. Get the ebook. Get the ebook. Tune in for my next video. And don't be afraid of love. Bye, y'all. Serena Michelle out.